Hello grade 6 students, how are you doing here? Welcome to the video solution of the fourth science worksheet talking about vegetative reproduction or vegetative reproduction in plants. So what do we mean by plants reproduction? It's the production of new offspring in plants. This can be done sexually and asexually. So we have two types of plants reproduction, and these two types are completely different. We have sexual reproduction that requires the presence of the two organs, male and female organ, and asexual reproduction that allows the production of new offspring out of a plant. What are different examples of plants that reproduce asexually? So we talked about the strawberry plant, about the potato plant, the mint plant, and many more. So let's start with question 1. In the first question, we have 4 different diagrams showing vegetative reproduction in some plants. As we can see in the first one, we can clearly see the runner. And the second, we have, we have 3 diagrams and not 4 diagrams. And diagram B, we can see the potato plant, and in the last one, growing out of cuttings. So let's fill together the table using these 3 diagrams. Okay. A cutting placed in water will grow new roots and leaves. So we have one plant. We take a cutting from this plant. We put it in water, and this will allow or this will produce a new plant. So this is an asexual reproduction that doesn't require the union of the female eggs with the pollen grains. So which part is used in reproduction? It's the cutting for sure. So the piece that we cut from this plant is called the cutting. And here we're talking about diagram C. So it's diagram C. What are examples of plants that reproduce this way? You saw in the lecture video that the mint plant or the geranium plant can reproduce this way. So I'll choose the mint plant as an example. What about diagram B? The part used in the reproduction of the plant shown in diagram B is the stem. So the buds or the eyes on the stem, I will circle them for you. I will circle the eyes. When these eyes are cut and when we put them in the soil, they will grow into new plants. So which kind of or which examples of plants grow this way? We took the example of the potato plant. Since the potato is an underground stem, it actually stores food in it, and when we cut the eye or the bud of this stem of the potato and we plant it in the soil, it will grow into a new plant. So the eye or the bud will grow into a new plant when we place it in water or in the soil. We still have the last one, so I'll directly write aim here. We're talking about the last diagram showing, I think this is a strawberry plant. So which part is used in the reproduction of this plant? It is actually the runner, which is an above ground stem that grows horizontally, and this stem grows plants, new plants at nodes. So these are the nodes. And in this location, we can clearly see two new plants. What is an example of plants that reproduce this way? I'll say the strawberry plant. So again, the above ground stem of the strawberry plant grows horizontally and produces new plants at nodes. So these two are called nodes. The thick part of the carrot is its main root. If planted, it can grow into a new carrot plant. Determine if this is a kind of vegetative propagation or reproduction. When we have to determine an answer, we should not forget to justify it. So what do you think? Again, we placed a part of the carrot, like you can see in the diagram right here. We place a part of it in water and we got a new plant. So we have a plant reproduction so we got a new plant out of one mother plant without the use of seeds, without the use of any sexual reproduction. So yes, for sure, this is a kind of vegetative propagation, or so yes, this is a kind of vegetative reproduction, since we got a new plant out of a part of the mother plant. So again, this is a kind of vegetative propagation where a new plant is grown from the plant parts of a mother plant. So I said it in a different way. Okay, this is a kind of vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction where a new plant is grown from the plant part of a mother plant. We didn't use sexual organs, male and female organs. Question number 3. Order the words to get a full sentence, and out of this sentence we will get new information. The first one, to, seed, pollen, B, a, ovule, joins, the, make. So as I can see, pollen, ovules, and when they join, they will make a seed. So let me try. I will say the pollen joins the ovule to make a seed. I'll count the words out now. Okay. So this is the sentence. The pollen joins the ovule to make a seed, and here we're talking about sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Reproduction, sexual, some, and use plants asexual. So here, for sure, we're talking about some plants. So some plants use sexual and asexual reproduction. I will take the example of the strawberry plant. So we have the fruits, which are the strawberries, and as I said before, we get fruits out of flowers. So the strawberry plant is flowering plant. I will write the example right here. So this plant reproduces sexually since it has flower, and also it reproduces asexually, so it can reproduce both ways. Fertilization in no or reproduction flowers asexual there are no flowers or fertilization in asexual reproduction. Not so easy, but I got it. So in asexual reproduction, we have a new plant grown from the parts of a mother plant. No need for flowers or for fertilization. Last question now. Question number 4. To produce new tulips, the gardener plants tulip bulbs in the soil. So what do we call this mode of reproduction? When we get new plants out of the part of the mother plant. We didn't use male or female organs, no pollination, fertilization in this reproduction. So for sure it's the asexual reproduction or vegetative propagation. Describe what the gardener does to produce new geranium plants. Okay, I already said in the lecture video and also now that the mint plant, the geranium plant are examples of plants that grow new plants from the parts or from the cuttings of the mother plant. So if you have a geranium plant at home, you can cut piece of the stem with a leaf, for example, and place this cutting in the soil or in water. This cutting will grow into a new plant. This is what we call again asexual reproduction, when we get new plants, new offsprings out of the mother plant without the use of sexual organs, male and female organs. So what can a gardener do to produce a new geranium plant? It can use the cutting of the geranium plant. The cutting taken from the geranium plant grows into a plant identical to the parent plant. So the gardener can take a cutting from the geranium plant that he has, and the cutting taken from the geranium plant goes into a plant that looks exactly like the parent plant. So that's it. That's all about the asexual reproduction. I will remind you that we have 4 types of sexual reproduction: growing from runners, from bulbs, from rhizomes, and from cuttings. Feel free to ask me whatever you want. I'm always available to answer all of your questions. Bye bye.